and some bad. By no means was it perfect. I think that was a statement. Shannon, did he show you enough that he should start over Jimmy G?
No. And I don't think he will start over Jimmy G. I think Jimmy G is going to start the season. Now, given Jimmy G's history, Skip, and his turnover history, I'm not so sure he finishes the season, given what we've seen of him since he's been in San Francisco. He's injury prone to the yin-yang, and he's a turnover machine. So with that being said, and you look at the schedule, Skip, the first 2 games are on the road. Now, I believe they'll be favored in both games, at Lions, at Eagles. Then they're home Packers, Seahawks, Cardinals, which are division games.
Tough division.
I don't see Trey Lance starting now. Obviously, Jimmy G gets nicked. Jimmy G's not performing well. They believe, Skip, they have a playoff caliber team. And most playoff caliber teams will tend to go with the incumbent, the veteran, and if he falters, bring the rookie in. So I believe that's the way they're going to do it. And Kyle is right, Skip. He had the 80-yard touchdown. He has a great arm. All the rookie quarterbacks, Skip. I saw some good things. I saw some things, okay, you're a rookie, I get it. You know, you're a rookie, you're going to make those mistakes. But I thought all the quarterbacks displayed. Justin Fields, very nice arm. Trey Lance, very nice arm. The kid up in Wilson, up in Jets, nice arm. All these guys have nice arms. Mac Jones, we know his anticipation is what's going to get him by. And in that situation, Trevor Lawrence also. Trevor Lawrence, nobody's thinking Jacksonville going to the playoffs. Nobody's thinking the Jets going to the playoffs. So those guys should start. But when I got playoff aspirations, and I got a veteran quarterback, New England Patriots, San Francisco 49ers, I think those situations are different than Jacksonville and the Jets. So therefore, that's why I believe Cam starts the season. I believe Jimmy G starts the season. But I believe both of these guys on very, very short leashes. They're not going to have, Jimmy G is not going to be able to turn the ball over like he did and keep his job. Cam is not going to be able to play like he did last year, Skip, and keep his job. But to answer Jenny's questions, I believe Jimmy G starts the season.
He well might. But if I ran the 49ers, which I obviously do not, I would start Trey Lance because I told you before the draft, he will be the best of these young quarterbacks. He's got the biggest arm of these quarterbacks, including even Trevor Lawrence, who has a nice, easy, effortless sort of velocity.
Yes.
This kid can really wing it. And this kid got thrown into the fire on Saturday evening at home against Patrick Mahomes' team. And you don't think there was some pressure because Patrick played just a few plays like Brady did, but you don't think there was some pressure looking across the field at Patrick Mahomes warming up like, uh-oh. And then Trey gets thrown into the fire against Steve Spagnuolo, who played his starters for the first 3 series. They all played like 11, 12 snaps, where he did have to contend with a starting defensive unit for a little while, while his offensive line was all backups across the board. So what's Spags do to him? He blitzed the hell out of him. He was coming after him. He went down 4 times, and 3 of them were just flat-out blitzes where somebody came completely free. And the kid wasn't ready for it because not only did he get no help from his running backs, but I think he was under strict orders from Kyle Shanahan. You will not run the football. We're not going to call any runs for you today. I want you to survive this. I want you to get out in one piece. So let's not do anything crazy, extemporaneous. Let's stay in the pocket and see if we can master the pocket before we master broken plays.
Skip, because I'm trying to, look, I'm trying to hold all the cards close to my vest. I'm not trying to show you anything that I may or may not be doing during the regular season. So when I do it, you're going to be as shocked as everybody else is. But because anything that you put on tape, oh, don't worry about it. They got that.
And I had him down, officially it was 3 drops that they dropped. But I thought there was another one that was a drop on a slant route that I thought the receiver got both hands on. But whatever, it's 3 or 4 drops that he suffered. So all I know is that the play of the night, except for Tim Tebow's block, but the offensive play of the night was the spectacular touchdown pass, if we could see it one more time, because this is what you look for from these kids in a preseason game.
That's an Elway special.
This is an Elway special. This is roll left, plant, square up, and throw a rocket all the way across the field to, oh, wait, that's Trent Sherfield. Guess where he went to school? Vanderbilt University.
Go ahead.
everywhere. Vanderbilt dominates. If it's MLB, NBA, NFL, every time you look up, it's somebody from Vanderbilt.
If that's the case, Skip, why can't y'all win the SEC then? If y'all dominate football, y'all everywhere, why can't y'all beat Bama and Georgia?
Because we're not as deep as they are. We have the talent at the top tier. We don't have it in second and
Y'all
third
got
string
one
talent.
player, Skip. Y'all didn't beat Alabama with
All
one
right,
player.
but way to go, Trent Sherfield. But that was a throw.
Yes.
That was one of those that raise your eyebrows and you say, oh,
yeah,
he can do that?
For a quarterback to roll one-way, Skip, and throw the ball clear back across the field, outside the numbers, the other side of the field, yeah, he got armed.
Okay, and even though at that point they had the second-string defenders in, that Dion Key, who he beat, number 24, he's a strong safety, he's undrafted out of Western Kentucky, but he has been the rave of camp. I keep reading about Dion Key, this and that, like he might be a starter by game one.
Okay.
So my point was, that's who he beat on the crossing route. But again, it was almost like not fair because you're running with Trent Sherfield and you're thinking, well, I got him. He can't throw it this far. He can't throw it this far. And all of a sudden, a rocket goes right over your head for a touchdown. Here we go again. And he threw another ball out of the end zone that raised my eyebrows if we could see the next one, because not only did Kyle let him throw it from his own end zone, but this is another rocket to the tight end.
Flow pass.
30 yards later, boom.
I may or may not have caught a couple of these.
Have you?
I have. We call that flow pass.
Okay, which means what?
Back to the flat, tight end on the 7 route.
Okay.
So you watch the back, block, get to the flat, tight end on the 7 route, which is a corner.
Okay, when I was watching this live, it took my breath away because he just effortlessly went kaboom and just hit him right in the hands as he broke up field for 30 yards. Okay, that will work. And I stress to you, this young man can run with the football if needed.
Yeah.
So I watched Justin Fields, and Justin Fields had a heck of a game. He also had some good and bad.
Right, yeah.
There was some bad in there, too. He wasn't consistently accurate, but he went 14 to 20 for 142, a touchdown and no picks. But he ran the ball 5 times, did Justin Fields, for 33 yards. He had 121 yard, and he ran for a touchdown, 8 yards.
Right.
Well, he was using what God gave him to use. He got to use his legs as well as a terrific arm that he has. And it worked for them because he just lit it up. When in doubt, he could take off. Well, at some point, Trey Lance, trust me, he will take off.
But Skip, the thing is, like, when you go into a preseason game, you're really not scheming. No. So they're not saying, well, you got to watch it, you got to make sure you hold this backside because this guy can run. You're just playing base defense. You're not trying to do anything fancy. You're just trying to get out there, work on your technique, play hard, get off the field. Hopefully everybody comes out injury-free. That's all you're trying to do. So actually, Justin Fields was playing it like with an advantage because they don't really play for the quarterback to run in the preseason.
Nope.
And Justin Fields like, oh, it's man free.
Oh, really?
And y'all gonna turn y'all back on me? Well, I'm just gonna go out the backside.
Yep. And he threw a touchdown pass that was just a trick play where they got the tight end wide open. So good for him. But that's another one. Okay, that's another one where this is just me. I'm old school, or I'm different school on this one. It's like Peyton Manning, they just threw him in the fire, said, okay, lead the league in interceptions because you're going to be great. So get it out of your system. We're going to figure it out. To your point, San Francisco is a very good team in a very good, you can argue the toughest.
Yes, that might be the toughest division.
So, well, this is a battle, but I believe in Kyle Shanahan as much as I believe in Trey Lance. So the combination of Kyle and Trey, I believe, will take them up a notch higher than Jimmy G is capable of because he's got too much mental scar tissue. He knows he's a turnover waiting to happen, and he also knows, man, I get beat up a lot.
Well, he's going to have to because you look at the quarterbacks in that division. Russell Wilson's at Seattle. Matthew Stafford's at the Rams. Kyler Murray's at Arizona. There are no, I mean, that's your division. So there are no easy games in that division. So I believe, Skip, this is the reason why they're going to start Jimmy G, because he's a veteran presence. And they believe, because, Skip, just 2 years ago, they were in the Super Bowl. Peyton Manning team hadn't been good for a while. They got the #1 overall pick, and they knew they weren't going to be good.
Trey Lance is a very mature young man. Trey Lance is basically a gym rat. He is a film nerd. He loves to study tape the way Brady loves to study tape, or Peyton did. I think all those qualities will benefit him. and escalate the process to the point that I will not be surprised at all if he does start game one.
Right.
And people will be horrified by it. And I'm sure some in 49er Nation will say, no, we can't do that until he shuts you up, because he will make plays under fire.
The difference is, I think Trey Lance's defense is better than what Peyton had in Indy. Peyton had some nice pieces. Peyton had Marshall Faulk and Marvin Harrison.
That'll work.
So it wasn't like he got two guys there within the